Hello everyone and welcome to the HacettepePathology.com Case of the Month series. In this month I'm going to present a 70 years old female with a mass on the cheek. And when we look at the sections, we see a dermal based tumor with an intact epidermal lining, and there's no ulcerations, and again some of the appendages are infiltrated by the tumor. And when we look at the base, we see some infiltrations into the subcutaneous tissue, as you see here, and this is relatively well circumscribed but unencapsulated. We have some infiltrative borders here, but we have like 1.5 centimeter diameter mass here. And the characteristic of this mass is we have this fascicles formed by spindle cells, as you see here, and we have a striking pleomorphism. Here is a very pleomorphic nuclei here, and the other characteristic of this tumor is the glassy cytoplasm, and the cells are forming intersecting fascicles, and we have some cells with inclusions. And also another feature of this tumor is scattered inflammatory cells, and we don't have ulceration, as I said before, and we don't have any necrosis here. So in an head and neck mass in an elderly person, we have to consider melanoma, sarcomatoid carcinoma or spindle cell squamous cell carcinoma, and angiosarcoma in first hand. So here we don't see any melanocytic proliferation within the epidermis, as you see here. And I'm gonna turn to the H&E again. So S100 was negative, as you see here, and melanoma is largely excluded. Here there's also a very nice internal control here, as you see. So neoplasm is negative for S100. And we have also have SMA and H. caldesmon, because we have these intersecting fascicles resembling leiomyosarcoma, and leiomyosarcomas can be seen in the dermis also. Here we have this SMA expression in an myofibroblastic fashion. As you see here, the vessels show block type of expression, which is characteristic for the smooth muscle. And here our cells show tram tract expression for the SMA, which is like linear, and this is characteristic for myofibroblastic differentiation. And H. caldesmon was negative, as the desmin was. So to exclude the sarcomatoid carcinoma, I did a cytokeratin. Here is the cytokeratin, and the neoplastic cells were nicely positive for cytokeratin. So shall we go with the sarcomatoid carcinoma? Again, another marker for squamous cell differentiation is P63. Yeah, P63 was, this is internal control, negative in this case, as you see here. And P53 can also be seen in a mutant pattern in this sarcomatoid carcinomas, but here the pattern was wild type. So we have a cytokeratin positive tumor, the superficial tumor with and just to exclude the angiosarcoma, I did CD31 here, and CD31 was negative. These are the vessels are nicely highlighted, but the neoplastic cells are negative. So the referred to diagnosis was AFX, which could be the case, but AFX are negative for keratin and positive for CD10, and AFX, atypical fibroxanthoma, is excluded because of the cytokeratin positivity and CD10 negativity. So, and let's go back to the morphology. Again, we have these pleomorphic cells, but lacking mitosis. So in the AFX, we usually see these pleomorphic cells with atypical mitotic figures. But here, if this was an AFX, there should be mitotic figures, but we don't see any mitosis here. And this is also the case for sarcomatoid carcinoma. And these are the cells, but we don't see any mitotic figures. We don't see any necrosis, but only we have this pleomorphism. So actually there's another marker that helped me on the diagnosis. It was CD34, which is diffusely positive in this case. So I just selected CD31 because it's more specific for the angiosarcoma, but CD34 is later ordered, and these tumor cells are positive for CD34. So the diagnosis is superficial CD34 positive pleomorphic fibroblastic tumor. We added the a term pleomorphic in the latest WHO 6th edition. It's going to be coming at the end of this year. So these tumors are usually seen in the lower extremities of middle-aged adults, and the characteristic is cytokeratin positive and CD34 co-expression, and keratins are positive in the 70% of the cases. Usually focal expression is seen, and WT1 and cadm3 are expressed in the majority of the cases, and the molecular characteristic is a PRDM10 rearrangements. So This case is really a horror movie for the or a nightmare, let's say, because it expresses keratin, but the morphology is important. We have so much pleomorphism but lacking necrosis and mitosis that should make pathologists think of this very special tumor. Thank you very much, and hope you enjoyed it.